Recording. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, citizens of Oxford and the rest of the world. I'm Ryan Myers, the guy in the booth, and we are here with Media Maniaxe. I'm going to send it over to my hosts, Russell Currier and Talon Rudell. What do you guys got for us?
Well, this week is a little bit different, as you can tell by our Doctor Who shirts. Our first segment is Doctor Who, which is something we've been talking about behind the scenes a lot, but not in front of the camera.
Yeah, Doctor Who, my sister got me into it, and I just delved right into it. I just love all the aspects of the show and each Doctor and everything. Yeah. So, if you don't know what Doctor Who is, he's a time traveler, space traveler, last of his kind, alien who just saves the world and all the planets around the galaxy. And he travels in a thing called the TARDIS, which is that right on my shirt right there, which stands for Time and Relative Dimensions in Space. Yeah, gave you a bunch of information there. There's many different Doctors, 12 to be exact.
Currently.
You
never know how many there's going to be.
Yeah, we don't know. All right, who's your favorite Doctor? You don't have a favorite Doctor?
No, it's like such an obvious question. It's David Tennant.
Okay, the 10th Doctor. Oh, you and I have the same favorite. I was thinking you were going to go say Matt Smith or something.
I don't
the 12th,
know.
or the 11th.
So if you don't know, each regeneration of the Doctor is a different actor.
Yeah,
and they do that to keep the show fresh, and they also do it for necessity because, for example, the first Doctor was 60s. William Hartwell was like 60s or 70s when he first got the role.
Yeah, I think so.
And so then he got replaced, and then they kept that going through the storyline, saying that the Doctor regenerates. When he dies, he doesn't actually die. He regenerates into a new person.
Exactly.
Every time.
Yeah.
And so my favorite is the 10th regeneration, the 10th Doctor, as it's
Mine
called.
too, yep.
And David Tennant, or performed by David Tennant.
The ones that were, the Doctor Who seasons, they kind of revamped it kind of with the 9th Doctor with Chris Eccleston, and then they went Chris Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith to Capaldi. I can never remember his first name.
Peter
Capaldi? Okay.
Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, he's the 12th one. And
which is funny because he was actually in the show as like a small character.
Yeah.
In like season 6 or something, and then all of a sudden he's the Doctor.
I know the episode though. Fires of Pompeii.
Yeah.
And so I was just watching it and like, holy crap, how did the 12th Doctor make a cameo with the 10th Doctor?
Yeah, exactly. Because they didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your favorite episode you picked? We're going to talk about our favorite episode and everything and just delve into them.
That's the main idea behind this segment, is the favorite episode, talking about the show, giving a little bit of an insight of why we talk about it so much and like reference it every time we have a show. And
Alonzo.
Yeah, Alonzo. I always wanted to be Alonzo. Anyway. See, it's just so many of them if you don't know the show. But my favorite episode is Blink. And it's the first appearance of the Weeping Angels, which is this creature that is like an angel statue, but if you don't look at it, it moves.
Yeah, it doesn't even look the same when you look away. It changes shape. And as soon as it touches you, it transports you in time and space.
Well, the only reason it transports you in time and space is because it's not weak enough. It's too weak to kill you.
Yeah. So, like, say you're all of a sudden, normal time, 2015, thing touches you. Well, I'm back in the 60s and I'm stuck here.
Yeah, at least you get to see the moon landing, unless it's August.
Yeah. Oh.
That would just be terrible. Like, everyone's talking about it. It's like, I didn't get to see it. I could transport all the way back. Yeah.
All right. And, I can agree, though. Blink is about everyone's favorite, I think. And the thing that's
funny...
It
was my first episode. That's why.
Really? That was your first?
My sister was like, I got the perfect episode to get you hooked on this show. Show me Blink, and I was like, I like it.
My sister, when I first saw her watching it, was the Vincent Van Gogh episode.
That's a really good one, too.
Yeah, it is. And, and when I started watching it, actually, I started from, Chris Eccleston on. So I saw Rose episode and all that, and I had a major battle of picking which was my favorite. My favorite was Midnight, which is the one where, this is one of the first lines you hear David Tennant say, taking a big space truck with a bunch of strangers across a diamond planet called Midnight. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the reason...
That's a really good episode.
Yeah, the reason why I picked this is because I like I like horror movies. So this kind of seemed like it could have been a horror movie because the whole basis on it. The story starts off with just taking a trip across a planet called Midnight, which is just a diamond planet. The sun's rays will burn up anything, so they're in like this big truck that'll stop them from being burned alive. But then something gets in and gets into the people's heads and starts copying what they're saying, and
mass hysteria.
Exactly, and they're just like trying to figure out what to do, whether they're gonna kill this and kill the person that's hosting this thing, or listen to the doctor. And nobody's listening to the doctor.
Yeah, the one time. Not really the one time.
Well, one of the.
Yeah. Well, and so other things you might need to know about the doctor in order to be able to understand our conversation is that he always travels with a companion, usually a woman. Not always.
Yeah.
And it's a person that he takes with him on his travels and shows the world in the past and the future and all these different places.
Which my favorite is the one that was in that episode, Donna, but she wasn't in the episode for very much. This was actually their vacation time. Instead of just traveling all these places, they stayed at a resort on this planet. She stayed sitting by the pool and he went on a tour.
She's my least favorite one.
She's your least favorite companion?
I don't know why. She's not like, I don't hate her. She's just not my favorite.
Why not? Oh, okay. Well, what makes her your least favorite, though?
I don't know. I think it might just be the personality of Donna herself.
Donna was awesome.
I didn't say she's not. I just said least favorite.
I admit, she was annoying in the beginning parts, but then she kind of grew on you.
Well, yeah, she grows on you, and she's a great character.
And she was equal parts annoying and funny.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, there's so many better in my opinion. Like Rose is my favorite.
Well, of course, she was like the first in the revamped series.
And then it goes like
Martha
Clara,
Jones.
And then Martha, which everyone hates. I don't know why.
Martha.
No, Amy is before Martha, but
no.
I love Amy.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, in my list.
Rose. Oh, in your list.
Rose,
I thought you were saying
Martha, and then Donna, and then Amy.
Amy's below Donna?
No, this is.
Okay. Now I get it.
See, there's so many different people.
We're getting confused now.
You get confused. Pretty
okay,
simple.
that's the order they're going in now. Yeah. I thought that was your order of favorites. Now I'm sorry.
So for any of you guys that aren't really Doctor Who fans, this might, like I said, might be a little bit confusing. But I would highly suggest looking up some of. You can even look up the lore on YouTube, and that would be a good way to start. Or just pick or ask a friend that you know watches it and have them pick an episode that they think suits you. For example, like if I had a friend like Russell and I was like, this guy likes horror movies, I'll show him Midnight. But if he likes the murder mystery one, I'd show him the one with Agatha Christie.
Yes, Agatha Christie. That was one of I have a list here of the ones I was going through. It was one of the hardest things ever.
The one that, I don't remember what it's called, but my second favorite is the one with Amy and Rory when Amy gets really old and she gets stuck on that planet for like 80 years.
Oh yeah, that one was tough.
That was an emotional episode. That's why I like
it. That wasn't in my list, but I had a few here. I was just fighting back and forth which one was going to be my favorite. Ultimately, Midnight won, but then there was the Shakespeare Code where they go back.
That was a good one. That's season 3.
Yeah, with Martha going back in time, meeting William Shakespeare. Gridlock was another one where they're all in these flying cars, just in caverns, just driving for their whole lives and everything. Fires of Pompeii, that was nearly a good one. But that was a good one too, but the one that I was really fighting back and forth with was either Midnight or Silence in the Library, which is a big episode in Doctor Who with first appearance of the character River Song, who is a big character. I'm not going to spoil it because she's known for this phrase, spoilers.
Like me, she hates them.
Well, yeah, spoilers are good in little bits anyway, so... But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit on what our favorite shows were, favorite episodes and everything were. Midnight being mine, and yours being Blink, which is funny because that one didn't have much of the Doctor in it very much. It was all based around this one girl, Sally Sparrow. Yeah, it just
Sparrow.
I thought it was Sparrow.
I know, but she pronounced it Sparrow.
Oh, anyway. Well, anyway, speaking of people who regenerate, we're going to be doing our top 5 Johnny Depp movies coming up in the next segment. Don't go away.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Media Maniaxe. We are here with those two girls that show up to the party wearing the exact same thing. Let's throw it back to them.
Ryan makes us up on the spot, and that was actually really good.
That was, and I'm just speechless because
yeah,
pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Is our top 5 Johnny Depp movies,
right.
And we're gonna start off with Russell here. He's gonna say his number 5. So why don't you?
All right, my number 5 is actually Johnny Depp's first movie, which really. It wasn't one he was a star in, but it was still his first movie, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I love horror movies, and Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorites. And Johnny Depp was actually the main character of Nancy's boyfriend, Glenn. And the reason we got picked in that movie was because director Wes Craven was trying to figure out who to pick for Nancy's boyfriend. He had the surfer guy and then Johnny Depp. Wes Craven's daughter came in and said, pick him, Johnny Depp. And she's like, why? He's scrawny. He's not like a jock character. And she goes, he's beautiful. So he casted Johnny Depp. And so that skyrocketed his career with his first movie being a horror movie.
A good one, like a critically acclaimed one too.
Yeah. So Wes Craven, great director and all that. And even though, Johnny Depp didn't have much of character in there, but still got his foot in the door with production and everything.
Exactly.
And then 3 years later, getting in 21 Jump Street, and then everyone knew.
Then, boom.
Yeah, the Big Bang. What's your number 5?
Number 5 is Crybaby, 1990, I think.
I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I
haven't seen it in a couple of years, like probably 5 years. But I remember when I first saw it, I was just like, wow, this is actually good. It was like when he was really young. It was one of his first like really big roles, and it was just a great performance. And yeah, just,
okay.
I don't know. Just
was it like a 50s rock and roll type movie?
Yeah.
Okay, then I probably would like it. I haven't seen it, so I think I remember seeing something.
Put it on the list.
It's
a long list.
All right. My number 4, Sweeney Todd, just because I love the music in it and just seeing how dark Johnny Depp can get in a role.
Yeah.
And also one of the few meat pies. Yeah. And one of the many movies with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, which we'll talk about a little bit more of that in our third segment. All right. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is. I can't even read my own handwriting. Corpse's Bride.
Corpse Bride. Oh, yeah.
Animated movie, Tim Burton.
And I believe Helena Bonham Carter in that as well.
Yeah, I think for a voice.
Yeah, for the voice of the other character in that. Yeah, that's like one that everyone watches around Halloween time, pretty much.
Yeah, it's even a good family movie too.
Yeah, it is.
But it's also darker, and it has those like little more innuendo-ish kind of humor.
Kind of like, jokes. And kind of has like more of the style of like Nightmare Before Christmas. Kind of had
similar
that type
style,
of
yeah.
Yeah, because of the claymation, of course.
Yeah, and it's just more of a fun picture. It's just something to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right, my number 3, Rango, just because I love that whole animated style and just the Western type style theme in that movie and everything. And then
I only saw that once.
You only saw it once?
I haven't even seen Sweeney Todd actually.
Oh really? Oh, you're missing out.
Freak. I know. My sister has it on her shelf, and I'm just waiting to grab it one day and watch it.
But Rango, I love Johnny Depp's voice in that because it's like you can't really tell it's Johnny Depp. He's kind of like got this higher pitch type voice and everything, and he's just a guy who's all alone. Well, Gecko, all alone, and just trying to act out all this stuff, and he just plays a character in this old Western desert town and everything. So it caught my attention. So
yeah. This is 3?
Yeah, this is 3.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, another Tim Burton movie.
So good.
Yeah, that one.
Just great story, great acting. That's like my childhood.
Wasn't that one of?
I think I watched that first time when I was 4, which is kind of weird because what parent would show their kid that?
My
mom.
Parent. My parents. We had cool parents growing up. We had the parents who would let us watch. Like,
my parents wouldn't let me watch horror movies though.
Huh.
Or Beetlejuice.
Oh, Beetlejuice? Come on.
Nope. I wasn't allowed to watch it until I was like, finally able to watch it at like 16, 17. Because it was finally on TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just wasn't able to watch it.
Huh. Yeah. But Edward Scissorhands is a great movie. Even Vincent Price kind of was in that for a little bit as the creator and all that. And which was that his last movie, I think?
Don't remember.
Vincent Price, the master of horror, and then that was the first movie with Johnny Depp and Tim Burton working together, wasn't it?
Might have been, yeah.
I think it was. Anyway, all right. My number 2 spot, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, just because I love Jack Sparrow, and this is like the best part of him in movies. And I love the scene where Sparrow and Will Turner are in the smithing shop, and they're dueling and all this, and he's like, "Who makes all these swords? I do." And they're just fighting back and forth. I just love his personality in that movie. What was that? What was that?
You took my number 2.
Your number 2 is Pirates?
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
It's such a great movie. And when you realize that Johnny Depp brought so much into that character, originally it was supposed to be a very serious and somber role, and then Johnny Depp was like, no, Jack Sparrow is this. Mm-hmm. He molded the character.
And I hear he even didn't brush his teeth for the role just so he could be like more of an actual type pirate. Mm-hmm. That was one thing I thought was kind of disgusting.
Why is the rum always gone?
Why is the rum gone? Yeah. My number 1 spot, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Still haven't seen it.
I really like the movie, and it's just a crazy movie. Just pretty much you're on a giant LSD trip just watching this. Mm-hmm. And it's almost hard to watch at points, but it shows the determination of you keep getting through this movie. And Johnny Depp even sat down and hung out with Hunter S. Thompson.
Well, he got the role because he was friends with him.
I didn't know he was friends with him beforehand.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, he hung around him all the time, and pretty much just copied everything he did and then put that into the role. Mm-hmm. And I love the little cameo in the movie of Hunter S. Thompson.
I'll see it when I see it.
You'll see it when you see it.
But another really interesting thing is Johnny Depp actually stayed at Hunter's house.
Yeah.
And he was in the basement. He said, do whatever you do, don't smoke in the basement. He lit a cigarette in the basement, and then he saw from the ember of his cigarette, he looked down, and he thought he was on a chair. It was a chair made out of dynamite. Yeah, I just wanted to show that story.
What?
Yeah, just that adds so much more to the character and the relationship between those two.
That's really funny.
My number 1, Public Enemies, or Public Enemy.
Oh, I still haven't seen that.
1920s, my favorite era of movies and novels. Like one of my favorite authors is F. Scott Fitzgerald and Hemingway. I just love that era, and this is the perfect movie for that. Christian Bale, Johnny Depp, just the cat and mouse game. He's playing the Robin Hood character that really you feel like he's a Robin Hood character, but you're like, the movie makes you so conflicted because you want him to be that character, but you also see that he's not. But then you also see that he is, and you feel like he gets. And it's about John Dillinger, and so if you know anything about that, you know how it ends. But if you don't, I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, but no spoilers.
So it's just a great movie, well shot, and everything. Everything about it is just amazing, and Johnny Depp's performance is just fantastic, in my opinion. Yeah,
because you usually see him in like the darker type roles or all these other things.
Or
you don't see him as
movies.
You don't really see him as the gangster type character, like the serious role. Usually it's kind of like the jokey or the very dark and sinister character.
Yeah, and he has this ability to regenerate into all these different roles and be completely different. And going back, we're going to be talking more about Johnny Depp in a little bit in our review of
The Lone Ranger. Come and join us then.
Today, a new creature walks among us, terrorizing innocent citizens. Until this threat can be contained, we must all be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers.
Dude!
They're not looking out for you.
Engage!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected with strong, healthy bones.
Welcome back to Media Maniaxe. We are here with, how fitting, the Lone Ranger and Tonto. Let's throw it right back to them.
You're Tonto.
What? I was going to say, which one's which? How are you Lone Ranger?
Because I walk a lonely road. No.
That's Green Day.
I know. I'm just playing.
I love the
Fine. You can be the Lone Ranger.
We'll let you guys have a fight to the death on screen for it.
We'll do that. Another time. We'll do special features.
All right. Lone Ranger here. Okay. We're doing this because the Lone Ranger Festival was just recently, just this past Saturday, and it gave me the idea, and I texted Talon, we should do a review of The Lone Ranger. I never saw the movie, and I thought it would be something fun and exciting. So, Lone Ranger is directed by Gore Verbinski, who, if you don't know who that is, he also directed the first 3 Pirates movies.
He did the first pirate movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Bruckheimer. I guess he just produced it.
Probably. He also did Mouse Hunt back in the day. You remember that movie?
Yeah, with yeah, I've seen it once.
Yeah, it's like, I can't remember the actors' names and everything.
Wait,
but
Mouse Hunt is. I think I'm thinking Rat Race.
No, Mouse Hunt was the one where they inherit the house and everything from their father, and then there's a mouse that's ruining everything. Okay, but that's another good comedy movie. He also did Rango, so I just thought it was funny. He's worked with Johnny Depp before and everything, so when he put together Lone Ranger, it just went, from there.
He was probably like, Johnny.
You're Tonto.
Yeah, you're Tonto. Yeah.
Anyway, I thought the movie was really good. I thought it was funny, and people I think were expecting kind of a serious type movie for this, for the Lone Ranger and everything, watching the old TV show. But you can kind of see in this movie, it kind of has more of that funny aspect to it. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the movie?
Well, you've seen the Lone Ranger TV show, and you know more about the history and the lore, right?
I've seen
a little bit more.
I've seen a couple episodes, but I've seen how
I went in with a clean slate, not knowing anything about it and expecting nothing, and I thought it was a good movie. But the thing is, I feel like there was some things that weren't that great. I love the humor. That was great. Like, I was laughing a lot, and I was like, that's hilarious.
And there was some things I didn't much care for in the movie, too. Like, I'm not a big fan of Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer plays the Lone Ranger, or...
I thought that was good.
I don't know. As Tonto says in the movie, half-wit, wet brain. He's describing John in the movie.
Wrong brother.
Yeah, Kimosabe, yep. And so it's like, he just got annoying at the beginning of the movie. So it's like, how are we supposed to like this guy and see him as the villain, not the villain, see him as the hero of the story if he doesn't even believe in using guns at first, which he kind of...
Well, I thought that, the way I want to put this is I think that this is a well-written movie, but not a well-directed movie. It's a weird distinction because the dialogue, the stuff that happens, all that is planned in the screenplay. So the development of wanting to use the gun, that is a good side plot, a good development of the character, as well as all the other things that go on. These are great plot elements. I'm like, wow, this could make a great story. But in the hands of the director, it felt like it wasn't as poignant as it could have been. It felt more blockbustery and just kind of more action sequences. And one of the best examples is when Helena Bonham Carter was in the, she plays like the leader of a brothel, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, basically, yeah.
And she is in there talking with Lone Ranger and Tonto. And they leave, and then the mob is chasing after them. It's like, oh, they're not there. And then like a couple seconds later, Lone Ranger comes in. And I thought, when I watched that, I was like, I was like, wow, that's a great written moment. That's like one of those good moments in movies, but it wasn't as well directed as I thought it could have been. It wasn't paced right. And I think that's the biggest issue. The pacing.
You need timing with.
Yeah, that kind of joke. It needed a little more timing. Like if she said 1 or 2 more words, or if he cut her off coming in a little bit sooner, that might have been done in the editing room. It might have been done because of the directing. I don't know which one. But the whole movie also had that same feeling of it. Everything just kind of dragged on a little bit.
The movie was 2.5 hours long, and for a movie like this, I didn't think it needed to be that long, really.
But the thing is, I thought that the movie itself was really good in a lot of ways, but like I usually don't give scores, but the way I gotta best describe it is I'd give it like a 6.5
out of 10.
Out of 10, because like an 8 or 9 is like or a 10 is like great, fantastic. A 7 is like a good movie. This is like a 6.5, maybe 6, because it's a little bit less than good, but it's not bad.
I totally see where you're going for and everything. But the villains of this story, though, I'm not going to spoil all those bits of that. But they, William Fisher as Butch Cavendish, or as Tonto called him, Wendigo. He's like kind of that stereotypical villain, but I kind of liked him in that movie because he was that dark, gritty, he got the cat, what's the word I'm looking for now?
Cleft?
Cleft lip. I was looking for another word. Anyway, usually you see him in other movies like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was the guy in that movie and all this. This one he kind of stood out for me.
Yeah.
And This movie I did really enjoy this, and the theme of the movie being justice, getting your just desserts pretty much and everything. And I love the theme of the movie, but at the beginning, Lone Ranger's a half-wit. That's how I put it in my mind. At the beginning, but he kind of learns on as he goes on.
But another thing I wanted to say about this is it also did something where I thought if it had worked, it would have been great. It set it up for a franchise. They really were. I felt like they were kind of pushing for that franchise towards the end, wanting it to be more. Even with the frame story, which I'm not going to say anything about, there's kind of like a frame within it where Tonto is kind of telling the story to someone else.
Yeah, you first see this kid, just a little carnival type thing, and he meets Tonto, and he's just like Kimosabe, because the kid's dressed up as the Lone Ranger. He's just like, "Did you bring horses?" And the kid's just like, "Who do you think I am?" And then there's kind of a fourth wall type joke. It was like all of a sudden delves into the story, and you hear the kid, "Wait a minute!" And then Tonto looks towards the camera. Is like, "What are you? Oh, that never happened. Lone Ranger isn't real. It was a radio show or something like that."
He was a good guy.
Yeah, you first see kind of a bank robbery. Here's a little spoiler for you, but that's like the first 10 minutes. Yeah, but it's still, and also the makeup job on Johnny Depp as an old Tonto was really good in my mind. Just how it just, they're good.
And especially with the makeup and portraying him, Johnny Depp, as the Native American Tonto, which I wanted to address a little bit. Because there has been a little bit of controversy with the casting, apparently with with the Native American community.
Yeah.
And I want to say that this movie, he did a really good job at it. But some people think that he portrayed it more, in the way that he portrayed Tonto was almost negatively impacting the Native American community. And I want to say that
it's a movie.
It's a movie, but
it's a role. This is
he was casted for the reason
not to be taken seriously. But I see where Native
you can understand. It's because imagine if a white actor played a black person with blackface. It's the same issue.
Nobody's done that since about the 50s.
Yeah, and it's the same issue. And I think that Johnny Depp did really well, but maybe if they had cast a Native American, it would have been a little bit more.
It wouldn't have been maybe as jokey or something like that if they cast maybe not. Well, because Johnny Depp, he has that signature style of comedy and everything. You've seen that in movies, even like even Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You can see how he brings comedy to every little bit of thing he is in.
Yeah.
So maybe if they brought in someone else, could have been more of like a hard-earned hero type. Not savage.
Yeah.
That's not the word I don't want to use, but they use that in the movie a bit. The term
pejoratively. Negatively.
Yeah, but I don't mean that in a negative way, but I think
more
that
warrior-esque.
That's the word that best describes it. That would have been cool, and it would have taken a whole different tone on the movie. Anyway,
maybe not. Maybe it would have been a very similar tone. It's just a different actor, where it wouldn't have caused that controversy, which that controversy had apparently negatively impacted the movie slightly.
And in my opinion,
in a more broader aspect, it did.
In my opinion, this movie was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Same. I thought it was a good movie. And
we're going to leave it at that. And I'll leave you guys your opinions, because this is just our opinion. So anyway, that's it for Media Maniacs this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Russell Courier.
And I'm Talon Udell.
And we are Media Maniacs. We review everything.
And we're just crazy enough to do it.
All right. Join us next time.
Drownings are the #1 cause of accidental death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Designate an adult water watcher to watch kids in and around water. Save the phone calls and texts for when the kids are out of the water. Properly fence all pools with fences at least 4 feet high and with self-closing, self-latching gates. When above-ground pools aren't in use, remove the ladders. When pools aren't in use, cover them. Teach kids to stay away from drains. And if a child is missing, check the pool or spa first. Consider the steps you take, then add a few more, because you never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does, simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.